Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you and explain you through a mind map the entire process of translating a business case from a buyer to the scope baseline. How we as project managers from the seller's organization can get into this and then translate everything from the business case to the collect requirements. I have taken a real time example from one of our projects which we have been doing of late, how things have come up, how do you make the collect requirements, how do you define the scope, and then how you will create a WBS. After that, finally, how we will make the scope baseline. Overall, it's going to look like this. This mind map will be one stop solution for you to understand the entire flow of taking a document from business case to the scope baseline, going through different PMP processes. It helps in normal project management. If you want to give a PMP examination also, you can understand this and you'll be able to answer many PMP exam questions. With that said, let's get started. Okay. So, there is a business case from a buyer who says that they want to build additional platform of support to increase the customer satisfaction, and that's the business need. So they want to develop a online discussion forum. This is presented to many vendors, and let's say our organization is selected. So we are the seller of services. Now we have to do a project on this. So we take the business case, we understand what has to be done, and then in the business case, we understand the need of the business case, and then we'll see what are the requirements, at a very high level. After that, the statement of work is signed. The contract is signed over here. Okay, it's like signed. We are going to do it now. Once that is done, we take the high level requirements. Now we are building an online platform that needs to have a user login, a user interface, a FAQ page, frequently asked questions, a comments page, a moderator, a workflow, security for the website, performance of how the website behaves, user ranks the people who come on this page for the discussion forum, and the SEO, search engine optimization. So these are the high level requirements. So these are put on the charter at a very high level, and then so what is charter? It is an internal document that is used to authorize the project, right? Oh, this is the PM. So this PM is come. You can take up the project and start it off. So you have the project ready. Once you have the high level requirements, the next thing you need to do is to identify the stakeholders. Find out who are these people from the customers end, okay, from your end, from the internal organization, or any other vendors who will be helping you on the project. You need to understand who are these people, what do they want, how are we engaging with them, what are their interests, and who are the owners, right? And what power they have. What power do they have? These people will come and brainstorm the requirements. They would come and brainstorm this high level requirements. You'll start having discussions with them, and that's where the collect requirement process starts off. Now, in collect requirement process, you are going into more details. You see here, I have given some details. Now, the login. What should the login have? A username, a password strength. Now, the length of the username, how many fields, all those will be a part of the acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria. Okay. So these things are discussed over here. Like for UI, how the UI should look, a very rough page of the website I've put in over here, header, footer, tabs, FAQ tile, and then the forum tile, then the user ranks. So these are things. Then SEO, what all do they need in the SEO, the keywords, the tags, channels, all these are detailed requirements that are coming up with the discussions. This could happen in something called as a discovery session. You're trying to elaborate all this. Okay, and then after that, what is the role of the moderator? What should he do? So we're detailing more on the requirement. Moderator should add, delete, block users, and then give badges, next steps. Then what are the non-functional requirements? The security, the performance, the load of the website can take. So all these are a part of the collect requirements process. And what do you get over here? We get two important outputs, that is the requirements document, and you'll get the requirement traceability matrix, RTM. RTM will tell you the origin of the requirement, the objective of the requirement, and who is owning the requirement. So you can remember like O cube. You should be able to answer many PMP questions from that. So requirement document gives you the list of requirements. Okay, more detailed requirements. The list of requirements is there in the requirement document. Now, with so many requirements, the project will always have a budget. Let's say you only have $100,000 for this project. Okay. Now, with that budget, what all can you do? What all you cannot do? So, this next step is the prioritization. You take the high level estimate and say, okay, fine, we could do so many items out of this. Let's say out of 50, we could do 40, for example. So these 40 items are prioritized, estimated. So the prioritization is done by the product owner, okay, from the business side. He comes back and he says, fine, I don't want the SEO to be done now and the moderator role to be done now. I don't have so much money. I just need the login, UI, and the non-functional requirements to be done. This is like defining the scope means you're adding a boundary. Many times people get confused, is collect requirements first or defining the scope first? Collect requirements is first. To that requirements, you are putting a boundary. Okay? This is the boundary. What do you get at the end of the defined scope? You get the project scope statement. Project scope statement. Once you have the project scope statement, your next job is to create the WBS, the work breakdown structure. You might have heard a lot about this, right? It is a hierarchical view, a graphical view, or it is a representation of the hierarchy of the project. So, what happens is, things to remember, you will have the deliverables, that is, you have to do development and testing. These are tagged to the control account. A control account will have a budget associated with it, a schedule associated with it, and a deliverable. Okay, and a deliverable. Next thing is a planning package. Okay, planning package is like you're taking one requirement and planning what are you going to do with it. After the planning package is the next level. 1.1 is the planning package. If you go one more level down, these are called identifiers. It's called a work package. Work packages are the smallest manageable unit of work. Okay, so you see under login I've got three work packages: username, password, password strength. Under UI I've got now 1 2 3 4 5 work packages: header, footer, FAQ, forums, and ranks. In the testing I have got the testing for 1.1, 1.1.2, right? So these things I've got queue. So 2.1.1, 2.1.2, 2.1.3. So these things will come up. Then you have got performance testing, security. So all these 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? So you have all these items over here for testing. 8. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. All the 8 things that are developed, you will have a testing for that. So that will also have another control account under testing. So these are the work packages for that. So that's how you're coming to come up with the work breakdown structure. Now, what is your scope baseline? The scope baseline will be your WBS plus WBS dictionary. WBS dictionary is each work package has got associated with it the resource, the cost, the time, the assumption, the risk, the dependencies associated with each work package. That's the WBS dictionary plus your project scope statement. Okay, so This, all these things together will give you your scope baseline. Scope baseline. Now this is fixed. Any changes to the baseline should be done through a change request. Okay, that's how you manage your project from a business case to the scope baseline. Let me just summarize this for you. So what happens is, initially the customer comes with a business case, you work on the business case, and then after that you sign a contract, statement of work. Don't get confused with the statement of work and project scope statement. Project scope statement is a project document. Statement of work is a business document. Okay, and then you have the high level requirements. You make the project charter. With that, you assign the project manager, you identify the relevant stakeholders, you brainstorm on the high requirements, get more requirements, you build up a stakeholder register also over here, build up a stakeholder register. Sorry, let me use a different pen. You build up a stakeholder register. Stakeholder register to understand who, what, where, what is the power, what is the interest of stakeholders, and then you go to collect requirements process. These are the requirements for your project. You detail them, then you update the requirement traceability matrix. You make a requirement document to analyze and prioritize the requirements. Then you define the boundary. You exclude what is not there, what cannot be done because of the budget or the timeline based on the constraints. Then you define the scope. Okay, this is the scope, and after that you put a boundary on your scope, right? So your scope has a boundary in the requirements, what you will not do, what you will do. Then you build the project scope statement, and then after that you take the requirements and create a WBS with a control account, planning package, work package. Planning package is just a package between the work package and the control package. Okay, control accounts are associated with the deliverables, work packages are associated with the resources. Finally, you get all of this, and then you create the scope baseline for the entire project that has a WBS. WBS is the project scope statement. Watch this video a couple of times. You'll understand the process of managing a regular project, a day-to-day project, and also answer many questions on the PMP examination. This is Arham Faraaz. If you like the video, please drop me a comment. Share this video in your network. Have a nice day. Wish you all the best for PMP examination. Bye bye.